Hi, everybody. Um, I don't know how it looks for you guys, but on my end, the video quality is really grainy, so I apologize about that. But this was the best lighting, so we'll fix one problem at a time with these lives. All right, so hi, how you doing tonight? I am doing okay. Life's been, I don't know, I think I'm adjusting to the new normal a little bit more. I still kind of get angry that I can't do the things that I'm used to doing. But oh well, c'est la vie. So I'm gonna dive down into it in just a second here. I want to make sure that I am in do not disturb, just in case. All right. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Right now, things are absolutely crazy. And the weird thing about it for my husband and I is that we're used to this a little bit. It's so weird. He and I were talking about it, and because of what happened to us last year, um, it's almost a PTSD element for us. Like we things that everyone is having to do right now, we remember having to do or having a family member did for themselves. Uh, Self-isolation, online grocery shopping for everything, delivery, all that, never leaving the house. And in that case, it was a serious illness. But now we're seeing it again and we're having to do it ourselves. And so it just feels eerily familiar. And that's really weird. And I think that's something we've had to struggle with. Um, but the first couple of weeks of this self-isolation, we I mean, I talk about decluttering and I talk about cleaning and all that stuff, and our house kind of went down the drain because nobody knew what to do, and we were just sort of sitting there in shock like, whoa. But we're finally getting back into our rhythm. He works from home anyway, so nothing's really changed for him. What changed for us is that our son's home with us a lot more, so that's why these lives are in the evening, so that I have childcare and I don't have anyone coming in through the, let's see, that door over there saying, Mom, Mom, Mom. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, with our um, with our current situation, when you look around yourself and you're feeling frustrated about why couldn't I get the dishes done tonight, or why didn't I organize that better, or that laundry is still not folded, whatever it is that you're dealing with right now, just acknowledge that things are universally hard. This is not anybody's normal. Like even the stay-at-home moms like me, like this is not our normal. When we go crazy, we take a drive, we take our kids out to a park. We do whatever we can to sort of get through the day. The same with homeschooling moms, like this is not homeschooling, usual homeschooling for us, or I'm not a homeschooling mom, but like I was homeschooled when I was a kid, and we went places, we went to the zoo, we went to museums, we went to parks. This is not normal for anybody. So in that environment, you have to acknowledge that it's just hard, it's not just you, not crazy. Like this is just tough. And you're going to be in your house sitting here or outside and going, well, I don't even want to do anything right now. But that kind of ties into some stuff that I've been reading, and I don't know the name of the article offhand. I will try to link to it. But there was this article that somebody along the way shared, and I picked up and I was like, "Oh my word, this is what I'm feeling right now. This is what's going on for everybody." And that was that this climate is one of uncertainty. It's uncertainty, and it's also loss. Like we have lost our normal. And loss in all of its forms, that's a kind of grief, you guys. Like those of us who have, and most of us have gone through grief of some kind or another in our lifetime. My family has gone through it several times in the past 11 or 12 years. And each time, I was saying like this feels familiar. Well, it feels familiar. It feels like we've just started getting our feet under us. Um, to understand the new normal, this loss of not a person, but a lifestyle, it's different. So with that in mind, you have to understand that there's psychology at play here. There is emotional and psychological strain on everybody. And there is emotional, and that includes emotional and psychological stress on you. It's not just in your mind. It's really happening, and it's hard. So there's trauma at a global level, there's trauma in an individual level, and trauma does weird things to people. Like depression, is a real thing. And it can often come in the form of loss of interest in activities that you enjoy, or, not having to get up and do what you need to do. And that's, again, completely normal. That is part of the grieving process. You have anger, you have fear, you have sorrow, and then you gradually start accepting. Well, for most of the people in the English speaking world anyway, this is already happening long enough to us kind of get to that, oh, well, I'm kind of accepting this is our new normal. But, that doesn't make it any less hard. It just means that we're starting to cope with it a little bit more. So just give yourself some grace. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. When the chaos is around you, give yourself some grace. Accept what you can't change and take responsibility for what you can. Um, whether that is one small part of your home that you're able to keep clean, or just getting up, taking a shower, and putting on, clothes that aren't pajamas. I don't know about you, I wear pajamas a lot lately. Even more than I did when my son went to school, because I don't have to go anywhere and take him there. So bringing it back into the theme of this group with decluttering and all that, you want to make sure that you're keeping your tasks manageable during this time. Like, again, going back to grief, going back to depression, it is hard to tackle really big projects. It is hard to get up the motivation to do big things when it's hard to just, get out of your pajamas and put on your real clothes. So start small. Do the little things that you can do, and don't beat yourself up if you can't do the bigger things, because I promise down the road there will be plenty of time to do those big things. Just take care of yourself right now, take care of your family, and tackle the things that make the biggest difference to you right now in your life, because I'm sure there's something that's tripping you, there's something that's giving you a little bit of irritation. Focus on those things that you can help yourself in the day, like day to day. This is not the time to unclutter your entire house, and don't turn your house into another not normal, okay? Like, you have enough not normal in your life right now. You don't need to be you don't need to be doing anything that makes it feel like you're not in your house right now, okay? Exactly, Emily. Like, keep your routine. Yeah, exactly. Because you're gonna need that. That's one of the coping mechanisms to get through situations like this. Just a couple other things I wanted to point out, because I don't want to make this go too long. I just wanted to give you a little quick talk, and that is that, again, just give yourself the room to breathe right now. Do the things that impact your daily life now. And then something that you should keep in mind is that, in general, the clutter around us often mimics the clutter that's inside as well, like our thoughts. And so sometimes it helps to even start from the outside in. So when you start having a more um, clutter-free home, a little more restful home to look at, that visual clutter sometimes can make us feel mentally cluttered, and vice versa. So they're really entwined there. And so that's something that you may want to sit down and consider, like, is this impacting me in that way? Am I having a hard time thinking because my environment is too busy? A lot of us, sometimes, some of us like more quiet environments with less things. Some people really thrive on having a lot of visual stimulus, but figure out which one of those you are and then adjust accordingly. And then last of all, if you're feeling really stressed and you can't handle it any longer, reach out to somebody. I mean, this group's here for a reason. You can privately message me if you need to. I'd be glad to talk to you and help you through it. And we'll all get there, just a little bit at a time. And finally, the last thing I wanted to say is prayer. Prayer helps too. So don't be afraid to reach out to God in the midst of this because He's definitely there for us. So I hope that all of this is helpful. Um, and I wish you all the best. And I hope that we all get out of our houses and into the real world again very soon. So I hope you all have a good night, and I will talk to you next week.